everyone, and welcome to my Postpartum Recovery Series. If you've already watched this intro and you know how to go through this, just skip ahead to the exercise part and get started with those. Otherwise, stick around because I have some important information to share so you can get the most out of these videos and out of these exercises. So let me explain to you what you'll get by going through this series. The goal is to help you regain awareness, functionality, and strength in your pelvic floor and your deep core muscles. And we do that by working progressively. So there are 7 parts in this series, and you really want to be mastering the exercises in part 1, making sure you feel confident with them, making sure you have noticed some progress in your body before moving on to part 2 and working like this all the way through part 7. So it's really important to take your time while you go through this series. If you ever notice some bulging or coning, it means you have gone too far, and really it doesn't matter if it takes you a little bit longer. Just make sure you have mastered those exercises and really feel good about them before taking the next step. And another very important point that I need to make is that the foundation of postpartum recovery is breath work. So we are going to work with our breath all the way throughout the series. As the exercises get more challenging, the breath work stays. And yes, it can get boring, but it is essential. So if you don't know how to properly perform a core breath, make sure to check out the step-by-step guide that I've made. I'll link it down below. But just as a quick recap, really inhale 360 degrees around your core, into your ribs, into your back, into your pelvic floor, and then on the exhale, we want to gently lift the pelvic floor, zip our core up, the navel comes up slightly, and we bring our ribs down and in. And again, we don't want to be holding tension, and we don't want to be gripping down. So also make sure that you continue to have a nice posture. Shoulders are open, chest is open, and our spine is in a neutral position. And the third point I want to make is to just take your time. There is no timeline to follow. Everybody moves at different speed. It's all going to depend on how you were before you got pregnant, how much you did, how much you exercised throughout the pregnancy, how your pregnancy developed, how your birth was. So really forget about the timeline. It could take you 4 months, it could take you 6 months, it could take you a year. It really doesn't matter. Another thing to note is that if you're breastfeeding, it can take your body a little bit longer to recover, as the prolactin levels are quite high in the body, and hormonally we just don't go back to our pre-pregnancy state until we stop breastfeeding. So to summarize, make sure you're working progressively through the series. Don't skip any steps. Take your time. Make sure you're mastering the breath work. We are really working from the inside out. We're starting with that inner core, the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the transversus abdomen, and then working our way out. And by the end of it, you'll be able to perform any type of core exercise that you wish. And again, just take your time. And another quick side note, if you've had a C-section, you should do some scar work before starting with part 1. I will make a video for that as well and link it down below. So maybe it will take you a little bit longer before you can start with part 1. But again, it doesn't matter. We're going to forget about any timeline. But yeah, so just make sure you are mobilizing the scar and desensitizing it before we go and start activating all those muscles around the incision. Hey everyone, this is part 4 of our Postpartum Recovery Series. Today we're going to use a small ball. You can also use a pillow. Let's get started. Alright, we're going to build on what we did in part 3. So come join me on the mat. We're going to start on our backs. And we're going to get into a bridge position. So heels close to our butt, spine in a nice neutral position. And here you can hold the ball in front of your chest or even up here if you prefer. And of course we're working with our breath. So big inhale, 360 degrees around the core. And on the exhale, I'm going to zip up, gentle contraction of the pelvic floor. Belly button comes in and up slightly. And we're going to lift into a bridge as we exhale. And at the top here, we're going to add nice little squeeze on the ball again, either here or in front of your chest. And release. Let's start again. Big inhale. Take your time. Exhale, starting from the pelvic floor, lifting up into a bridge. and squeeze. Alright, let's do a few more. Let's do one more. And release. For our second exercise, we're gonna stay on the back. Nice and neutral spine. And here we're gonna bring one leg up and working diagonally. So left leg, right arm. I'm gonna place the ball in the middle here. And I stay relaxed, so head is on the floor. And from here, we're gonna work with our breath. Big inhale. And on the exhale, still zipping up. Bringing the legs up and down and in. And at the end, we're gonna add a little squeeze here between the leg and the hand. And release. Then start again, big inhale. And zipping up from the bottom. And add a gentle squeeze on the ball. Release. Let's do 5. Very good, and let's switch to the other side. The navel comes up and in towards the spine. Nice and audible exhale. And just one more here. Okay, very good. For our third exercise, we can place the ball to the side. And we're gonna get in an all-fours position. So you can place a pillow or a cover under your knees to make it more comfortable. And here again, a nice and neutral spine position. And we're gonna work diagonally again. So think about pushing your left hand and your right knee into the mat, or opposite, it doesn't matter. And then lifting up the other side, coming back down, and then we're gonna switch sides. But at the same time, you can make sure that we are activating our deep core muscles properly. So to begin with, you can just take a big inhale and then zip up. And we don't want to hold too much tension into the core or grip, but we need those deep core muscles to be activated. So we're lifting up, and from here, I'm still able to breathe through it, and here we can start the movement. So one side, making sure I don't let go of the tension in my belly, coming back down, and again, I should be able to breathe through it without fully releasing the tension in my core. We're going to do 8 repetitions in total. Alright, one more side. Very good, let's take a little break, release. Relax those core muscles. We're going to do one more time like this. Here we go. Inhale. just to ensure we're activating properly. Navel comes up. Okay, and here we go. 8 repetitions. Think about pushing opposite knee and hand into the mat so that we don't wobble side to side. Oi. Holding that tension in the stomach. One more rep each side. This really takes some focus, some concentration. Okay, and for our 4th exercise, we're gonna get into a split stance position. So like this, then we're adding some rotational movement. And this time we're working in coordination with our breath. So hands and ball or pillow right in front of us. We're gonna take a big inhale. You know what to do on the exhale now. And at the same time, we're rotating over here. Really trying to keep that nice tension in the stomach. Belly button comes in and up. And here we go again. I rotate as I exhale. And one more. Very good. We're going to switch sides. Let's do 5 on this side as well. Okay, nice and neutral spine to begin with. And here we go. Really exhaling all the way out. And one more. Alright, these are the 4 exercises for part 4. We're continuing to build on what we did previously. We're adding a little bit of movement and of course still working a lot with our breath. Just always make sure to check in with your alignment, make sure you have a nice posture, make sure you're not rounding through the pelvis either way or through the upper back. Really nice and neutral position. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.